Hello, I'm Melissa Thompson. I have worked for the California Department of Transportation, or Caltrans, for about 34 years. I'm the Business Project Manager for Caltrans Transportation Asset Management System, or what we call TAMS. I'm here to talk about our technology change management for building the next generation of asset management technology. DOTs must utilize technology to meet mandates, maximize limited resources, and achieve performance targets. We must manage change along the way. Here is a little about our California story. Our Caltrans approach is a balance of technology, people, and processes. You will see these color-coded elements for the lessons learned discussed in subsequent slides. For lessons learned number 1, we needed to think big for our future vision to meet state and federal mandates. Our processes evolved, building a TAMS system that had to start as soon as our office was formed in 2015 before we ever had our first TAM. The steps we took included building TAMS requirements that included system integration of assets, needs, projects, and funding portfolios, data quality, geospatial information and financial data, dashboards, analytics for decisions, process changes for workflows, risk, lifecycle planning, and needs, and expanding access to information. I will note AI later in our lessons learned. The vision is to improve data and tools, reduce risk, and we are helping feed TAMS requirements to other system developments and upgrades to integrate with TAMS. Our TAMS vision is to capture data manually and integrate with Caltrans system, offering a dynamic, holistic view of assets, conditions, needs, and system information, along with performance, project, and financial data. TAMS will have advanced functionalities such as spatial visualization, workflows, and dashboards for a clear understanding of assets, needs, and projects. And it will also support performance management and advanced planning, including lifecycle planning, prioritization, analysis, and all crucial for informed decision making. The second lessons learned in our Caltrans story is that we have operationalized asset management. As we began our asset management journey in 2015, we examined asset management process gaps, silos in the organization, and a lack of performance. Our processes evolved for plans and tools. The steps we took were to operationalize plans and processes that connected these silos across the organization. The impact of these changes were improved data quality. We've developed interim tools and from some of the pilots, changed processes, and we established a path to guide decision making towards achieving targets. What this looks like is filling the gaps beyond the TAMP, but before the project list. These operational plans were the building blocks to put a plan into action. Our State Highway System Management Plan, or the SHSMP, is updated every 2 years with inventory, condition, and targets. Our district performance plans are the performance and financial targets or constraints from the SHSMP. And the quarterly 10-year project book is a 10-year portfolio of projects to meet targets set forth in the TAMP and SHSMP. Portfolios are developed by our districts to meet district performance plans, fiscal, and performance constraints. In Lessons Learned 3, pilots are the great building blocks, and we had to begin with building blocks to take on this large undertaking. Our pilots spanned data, tools, systems, and process changes. These pilots were the path to continuous improvement, incremental change, and where we gained stakeholder buy-in. These pilots led to production, while others were the basis for requirements in TAMS, such as single to multi-objective projects, business process changes for needs, lifecycle planning and reporting, research on prioritization and risk tools, evolving existing tools to include performance, developing dashboards that would later connect to TAMS, developing geospatial data to model our mapping, contracting to develop our information architecture to begin the TAMS data model, addressing data governance, data quality, and exploring integrations while parallel efforts are changing across the department. These pilots are building blocks for TAMS. Beginning with change management was the key to turning the ship. Ongoing communication before, during, and after was the foundation to our success with our stakeholders and users. The steps we took we're engaging information technology as a partner, establishing standing meetings with our users, collecting feedback on our progress and processes, establishing a framework for policy guidance, shifting project decisions to districts with collaboration across our headquarters programs that required well-developed communication channels and processes before, during, and after process and technology changes. The impact was engagement, trust, support, feedback, and bridging gaps across the processes along the way. Our processes are continuously evolving, which helps prepare our stakeholders and users for the changes coming with the rollout of TAMS over the next year. Finally, Lessons Learned 5. Change is constant, with changes in legislative mandates, reporting, priorities, funding, and our tools and processes needed to change with them. We learned so much as we operationalized processes and piloted these building blocks for TAMS. So building an adaptive solution such as TAMS required developing system requirements that are adaptive, expansible, so that we can expand functionality to adding programs, projects, assets, needs, data, and models over time. Extensible architecture that provides the business the ability to use these flexible design principles to allow modification, such as adding steps in a workflow. Adaptive requirements examples are workflows that can be modified by staff and not just the vendor implementing the solution. Flexible to add asset types, new programs, new treatments, performance metrics, portfolio management for different funding programs so that we could expand across all funding programs in the department, and adaptive to evolving risk and lifecycle planning models. When we have new legislative requirements, you also may have data gaps. The impact of these changes were incremental changes, evolving and adapting. 2 years ago, we removed requirements for artificial intelligence, and then AI exploded. But the bidders were just not ready for system development in transportation with the emerging changes in AI. We adapted to the market and now have a phased approach for core functionality first, then adding more advanced analytics in the second phase, and then hopefully the third phase will be adding AI. I will personally be long retired by then. When I was asked to only talk about one aspect of how we developed our change management, it was just not one thing. It was all the change elements working together to advance us to where we are today. Having a clear vision for a holistic vision, operationalizing to guide decisions to achieve targets, piloting to develop manageable components, managing continuous communication and change that builds trust, feedback, and buy-in, and building an adaptive TAMS system that will modernize for future expansion, such as including AI. Thank you. The rest of the story will be told as we roll out the first phase of TAMS over the next year. I'm Melissa Thompson from Caltrans. If you have any questions, please email tams@dot.ca.gov. Thank you.